Boom! Oh, alrighty. Just drinking some coffee. Hello, and welcome to tonight's fantastic dinosaur action. Yes, as the title says in the thumbnail there, Topiary Stomper, Earthshaker Dreadmaw, stand-ins for the Vaultborn Tyrant and the Outcaster Trailblazer coming with Outlaws of Thunder Junction. I thought I wanted to dial things in a little bit closer and get potentially some of the best stand-ins for those two cards, and I think there's a pretty good case to be made for both of those, and pretty fantastic cards. Scary stuff there with the Earthshaker Dreadmaw. My goodness. Whew, I love it. I love its potential, of course. Earthshaker Dreadmaw drawing a card when it enters based on the number of dinosaurs we control, so naturally it would fit in a deck that has a lot of those. But not every dinosaur deck has tons of dinosaurs. It might have the Bone Crusher Giant, Llanowar Elves, all those other things, so it probably wouldn't make quite as much sense. But Earthshaker Dreadmaw is a dinosaur. It's big and trample. Vaultborn Tyrant is all of those things, and both that and Earthshaker draw multiple cards. Vaultborn cares about the power being 4 greater to draw cards, so it's kind of nice. You can mix and match other creature types. But just a big dino, trample, drawing multiple cards, close enough for me. And Earthshaker costing 6, where Vaultborn does cost 7. I could get Earthshaker down a little bit sooner, easier. Of course, I wouldn't want to play it into nothing. I wouldn't draw a card, but worst case scenario, getting Earthshaker Dreadmaw down on turn 4 with the classic Stampede Dinos package. Castle Garenbrig, 1 Sunken Citadel, tapping for the 2 green that we need for Castle Garenbrig's ability, and any 2 other lands. And speaking of lands, because Topiary Stomper is in tonight, and probably for a few more days, it grabs a basic land out of the library. Whenever I've used Topiary Stomper in the past, or various other things that pull a basic land out, I want to have a nice amount of those. I could start off with my opening hand, might be a couple basics. The opponent will use Demolition Field or Field of Ruin, colorless lands that destroy non-basic. Oftentimes I have 3 forests when I'm not using Topiary Stomper. I could have gone up to 6, but I didn't want to trim any of the other ones. However, enough basic lands that you can grab them with Topiary, replace one of your Sunken Citadels or your Castle Garenbrig after the opponent blows it up, and then just naturally drawing it. Because if you had 3, even 4, would certainly be quite rough. You want to elevate the potential of future Topiary Stompers. Maybe you play 1, you have a basic land to grab, and by the time the second one drops, you don't have any basics to grab. You might not need a land at that point, so it might not matter a whole lot. But Topiary Stomper in place of the Outcaster Trailblazer, both of those things, they cost 3, they both have 4 power, close enough-ish. Topiary Stomper is a creature with 4 power, so it would draw off a Vaultborn Tyrant, which kind of makes pretty good sense if I was going to keep Topiary Stomper in. But of course it is always and also a dinosaur, drawing an extra card off of Earthshaker Dreadmaw. Hopefully playing Topiary Stomper maybe the turn before Earthshaker, and then we at least draw 1 card from that scenario. But Topiary getting ahead in a stable way. It's replacing the Prosperous Innkeeper, which very different cards. Prosperous Innkeeper costing 2, able to come down easier in more scenarios, and possibly getting that Archdruid's Charm where perhaps I would not have otherwise. Maybe I have 2 lands and the Innkeeper. One of those lands, let's say it's Castle Garenbrig and a forest. Oh, good. That's pretty good. But we can't play Topiary. But playing the Innkeeper, getting to 3 mana with that treasure, it's temporary. We just need the 3 to get Archdruids to grab a Sunken. Now we have Castle Garenbrig, Sunken Citadel, and a forest. We still don't have enough to do exactly what we need to, but we're getting there a little bit easier. We aren't completely locked out all the time, waiting and waiting. Not that it happens super often for me, at least not often enough for me to greatly change things that are going on right here. Otherwise, everything is mostly the same. Keep trying for Ghalta's Stampede Tyrant, and if that doesn't happen, just keep slamming lovely bodies that the opponent is going to have a very rough time against. I love Tyrranax Rex. Sideboard-wise, nothing too crazy. Extinction Event, still in there. Packing a punch. Hornet Queen, I did trim down to 3 copies from 4. I wanted to up Thrashing Brontodon just because preparation for Torpor Orb. Big time. That's the main one. Damping Sphere as well. I have had opponents bring Damping Sphere in. They likely have it for the mono green Devotion matchup, turning off all the mana that is made. But Damping Sphere does hurt Castle Garenbrig a lot, and Sunken Citadel. So Thrashing Brontodon, to get rid of that artifact. Terra Sunder, to get rid of it. Archdruid's Charm, to get rid of it. 12 things that could get rid of a pesky artifact that is slowing me down and possibly simply stopping me from winning. I have a Castle Garenbrig and a Sunken. I'm able to play Ghalta. And if only I could, I'd win, because everybody has haste. Palani's Hatcher and Regisaur Alpha, as always, providing that. Yeah. And other thing I forgot to mention with Earthshaker. If it enters at the same time as Palani's Hatcher, you can order those triggers so that Palani's Hatcher makes the 2 dinosaur eggs before the Earthshaker Dreadmaw trigger resolves. So then you just simply draw 2 more cards. Palani's Hatcher potentially being a 3, drawing 3. It seems like a no-brainer. It seems like a pretty darn fantastic addition. I mean, it's not the most flashy. Vaultborn Tyrant probably is better. It's going to be interesting though. This costing 6, Vaultborn 7, that could factor in quite a bit, but I may use Earthshaker Dreadmaw plus Vaultborn Tyrant. Supercharge that card draw. Maybe trim Topiary Stomper completely, or just not use Outcaster Trailblazer. That could be a very real possibility. We'll have to see. I'll try all kinds of stuff, but 100% Vaultborn Tyrant coming in. And we're going to pack even more of a punch. But I did add, I separated the clip from last night where you got the head nod meme. If I do something good to an opponent, I love it. Combining it with various other clips as well, that would be pretty good. Maybe like this.
Don't push it. Don't push it, I'll give you a war you won't believe.
Kind of cool, like he's nodding to Rambo. Those guys actually kind of fit together. Rambo out in the wilderness, just as Robert Redford's character there, and I forget the name of the video, but it's an old one. That's not Zach Galifianakis. I was actually reading some articles about the head nod meme, and people thought it was Zach Galifianakis, but it is from a pretty darn old movie. He's actually nodding because he's catching his first fish out in the wilderness with his new family or whatever. He pulls it up, he turns around to look at them, gives them a nod, because they're going to be okay, because they can support themselves out in the wild. Oh boy. Mono white. Maybe something white related. Hopefully it's not mono white aggro. Of course, that is pretty rough for a deck like this. Not too much early stuff, but that hand is not rough. Oh boy. Sometimes it's just absolutely perfect. Sunken Citadel, Castle Garenbrig, Boros Heroic. I jinxed myself saying hopefully it wasn't a aggro-ish deck. Underground Mortuary, 100%. That is perfect. It always enters tapped. We don't have another turn 1 play, and it is a forest type land. Certainly keeping Ghalta's Stampede Tyrant on the top. Castle Garenbrig next turn. Lovely stuff. Castle Garenbrig Well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it could be Castle plus Topiary. I could go Sylvan. Oh, that's a toughie. That's a toughie. You know what? Castle Garenbrig, Topiary Stomper. I like that. Next turn, we search for another Sunken Citadel. At the moment, I can play Carnage Tyrant on turn 4 with that Topiary. I could have done it either way, but I don't know. We'll see. We could just mostly be dead. Sadly, Topiary Stomper can't block until we have 7 or more lands. Monstrous Rage. Okay. It is very painful stuff. We're not punching through that. No siree. No siree. But the Fugitive Codebreaker, that is a pretty fantastic thing. A lovely addition for Boros Heroic. We can go over it a bit. I've been kind of worried, to face it. 1 in a red for a 2/1 Prowess Haste. Whenever they cast a non-creature spell, it doesn't have to be an instant or a sorcery. It gets bigger, and it's a creature with haste. And yeah, pretty straightforward right there. A natural fit for what this deck is looking to do. The Monastery Swift Spear starts out as a 1/1/2. This is a 2/1. So it has double the power, double the cost. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. But what do we want to add in? What do we want to take out, of course? Topiary Stomper, nice to get ahead. But would I rather removal? Would I rather Thrashing Brontodon? There isn't really any artifacts or enchantments, major ones. Hornet Queen is nice, the Death Touch, the swarm of creatures. But oftentimes, the creatures that the opponent has, they have trample. I don't like that. I say we just get rid of Earthshaker. Bring in the Extinction Event. Hope to have the opponent with a bunch of creatures, either odd or even cut. Cut, how's it going? Hopefully you're having a good evening or night, afternoon, whenever it is. Hopefully everybody is watching right now, later on. Hey, couldn't quite get there. I felt we probably wouldn't, but so close to popping off. So close. But this seems good. Like last night, and I've mentioned a few times, whoa. Perfection. You play Underground Mortuary first. It always enters tapped. You need a forest for the eventual Castle Garenbrig that we're fortunately getting. Sunken Citadel, definitely. I don't have the turn 2 play of Sylvan Scrying, so might as well be that. Let's keep setting up. If we're going to win, it's going to be with Ghalta, Stampede, Tyrant. Everybody hasty. I have Castle and a Cavern of Souls, so it feels pretty good. Kind of about the best chance. Well, if we got an Archdruid's Charm, that would definitely be the best. Oh, don't exactly need the forest. Send that to the bottom. I want to increase the chances of, well, drawing Archdruid's Charm next turn, or Sylvan Scrying. We are one closer, sending that forest off of the top. If I didn't have a land in hand, I would have... Oh! Hashtag pre-recorded. Okay. As long as they don't kill us next turn, we would kill them, but I would expect they're able to deal 11. They have to. They gotta. I'd be highly surprised if that didn't happen. 6, okay. 6, 7. Well, we got 7. Yeah, tends to do the trick. 7. Oh boy. Okay, yeah. 5, 9, 10. 10. Is it 10? Are we down to 1? Down to 1? Get her done. Have some fun. Oh boy, did we just do it? Look. Oh, too slow. Nice. See you later, buddy. Hopefully this is it. Cross your fingers, cross your claws. Yes. Yes, please. Cross your fingers they don't have Reckless Rage to take our Regisaur Alpha. Let's go. It doesn't matter. We got Tyrranax Rex. Go time. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. No spike field, cave, hazard, something. Whew.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Yeah, man, that's entertaining stuff. Okay. I gotta fix up that clip though. Replace it with the updated head nod. It took me actually quite some time to find a nice HD version of it. That one is not, but I got to admit it's pretty cool to say exactly what would happen, what could happen, get the forest off the top, just to draw the Archdruid's charm exactly when I needed it. All right. I don't expect I'm going to be able to do it again. Of course, Boros Heroic, any super duper aggressive deck, if they're on the play, oy vey. You know what? That's good. Sunken Citadel, we're choosing black. We have our 2 sources of green for an eventual... Okay. That's getting interesting. I'll choose green to start. We'll do that. The next Sunken is black. Hey, at least we get to Extinction Event. Eventually. Maybe pop off the turn after that. Illuminator Virtuoso could mostly kill us coming up. Commune, might as well see what we get. Oh, a Castle Garenbrig. So the opponent, if they don't kill us, if we can get Extinction Event off, they might just die. But again, Illuminator Virtuoso with the double strike, connive, putting counters on it, plus their spells that they cast, making them bigger. There is a possibility it gets almost big enough that it kills us this turn. Not quite. Fortunately, it was the Sajiri Shelter. I like that quite a bit. It's a thing that costs 2, and it costs 2, and it made the Illuminator Virtuoso not so big. So as long as, we can live this turn to go Extinction Event next, just to take out the Virtuoso, it would be good, but favored Hoplite is an odd mana value. Virtuoso is even, so we don't take out all of them, sadly. Oh, that does it. Okay. Well, let it happen. Took him down once, at least. But that's also a good thing, casting Lorian's Escape there. Target artifact or creature gains hexproof and indestructible. That doesn't save them against Extinction Event. It's just exiled, and we're not targeting them, so it gets around the hexproof, exile, getting around indestructible. Very nice. If you can get Extinction Event off, you don't have to worry about their protection. Usually. Which is pretty good. Yeah. Well, could have some more early creatures, but then you wouldn't pack quite as much of a punch against an opponent later on. I don't know. I like packing a punch more often, better. Earthshaker Dreadmaw could be something cheaper. It could be Pugnacious Hammerskull, but for the most part, just playing one of 4 Pugnacious Hammerskulls, 2 and a green for a 6/6. You put a stun counter on it if it attacks, and you don't control a dinosaur. But with this deck, almost thought I misclicked on a clip, but with this deck, that's pretty easy to meet. An easy requirement, but just one Pugnacious. Maybe you get fortunate and you get 2 early Pugnaciouses. Pugnaci. It wouldn't be saving you. The Illuminator Virtuoso, especially, that's going to be way too big. Likely at least 6 power. It would trade with the Pugnacious, and it has trample, so extra damage continues on through. I would imagine it has trample. But that hand, fantastic stuff. Forced in Commune, perfect. Usually, I would have expected a land somewhere in there. I will grab Earthshaker. Yeah. It could come to it where we're able to cast Earthshaker and not Palani's Hatcher. Okay. We're saying goodbye to Sylvan Scrying. Probably. I would think. Castle Garenbrig next turn would be ideal. Oh! I swear it's not recorded. Man, my goodness. That's what it's all about. Start to grab that Sunken. If they haven't thought seized away Sylvan Scrying. Ooh, they do. Oh, okay. I mean, it is a little bit unfortunate. Fortunately, the opponent is mana screwed, so... Oh, my goodness.
Dang! Oh!
Thought seized the rest, Yeah, blow the whistle. I'm out on this shenanigans. Oh, we only need one more land. We'll be able to make 6 for the Earth. Oh, okay. My goodness, this is nuts. Crazy. Thought seized rest. Finally getting the Dusk Legion Zealot. Okay. Painful. Well, you see how important Sylvan Scrying is. Of course, it could be reasonably... Okay, there you go. Fired up, ready to go. If we get a land that enters untapped next turn, they die. How cool is that? You blew everything. Thought seized rest, and all of a sudden, my top decks are better than yours. That's for sure. They can be. Land on tap. Another castle. Oh! I swear, right as I swear. What is going on? What is going on?
Yes. Ruthless aggression.
If you're going to be in a top deck war, that's the kind of thing you want to potentially have happen. Okay, and it makes it even better that it's live. My goodness. If you haven't taken a bite out of the like button, definitely do so after that. But it's a good case to just stay positive. You'll get there. If you're playing this, you know what you could do. You know, all of a sudden, boom, it changes. You get a Sunken. Another Sunken. Man, now that was pretty cool. Wacky. That hasn't happened in quite some time. But, alright, Extinction Events. 100%. We'll trim Earthshaker Dreadmaw. Keep in mind, Rakdos Vampires, which is what we're facing. Earthshaker Dreadmaw enters the battlefield. Draw a card for each other dinosaur. That's not a May, so possibly we would want Earthshaker Dreadmaw to enter just to have a creature. But if they do happen to have Shieldred out, we would be forced to draw all those cards and, well, possibly kill us if the opponent has been pretty aggressive. Hey, so we made it work last time, so that's what we're doing. I like it. Excuse me. We got Underground Mortuary, see what's on top. Hopefully, there was another Sylvan Scrying or a Commune. We don't need Carnage Tyrant. I kind of felt like, what the heck? Let's try it out. A risky hand. And, well, we'll see. We'll see. Don't exactly need another Extinction Event. Turn 3 Vein Ripper. Oh, Liliana of the Veil. Okay. Well, we'll certainly discard, I would say, Extinction Event. Far ways away, maybe they think we don't have another one in hand. Ooh, that Topiary Stomper. Nuts. It is nice, Topiary Stomper, if we can get it down, would give us a fighting chance. I'm just happy I have Underground Mortuary, I gotta say. If we get there at some point. The opponent doesn't have a whole lot left in their hand, and there we go. We got it. We got it. So if they somehow go to Vein Ripper or something coming up, yeah, I don't remember. That is a good point, Cut. I don't remember Copter being in there too much. Yeah, Archfiend of the Dross, 100%. It might be in the sideboard if the Vampire's opponent notices their opponent has a bunch of creatures. Perhaps bringing that in. Could see that being a very real possibility. I'm going to take out Preacher of the Schism next turn. It has a mana value of 3 odd. Make sure I choose... Okay, I don't. I guess I don't. But, yeah, I would be surprised if they didn't have Archfiend of the Dross. That does really seem to pack a punch quite a bit. Odd. Odd is on the top. I'm not goofing up like last night. No way. Get another land, Cavern of Souls, something like that. Castle Garenbrig would have been nice, but yeah, Surrak and Goreclaw, pretty fantastic. Gotta try and chip away at Liliana of the Veil, though. Ooh, that's not gonna do it. Okay. Packing it in, at least for that game. Liliana of the Veil would have done the -6. Her -6 being separate all permanents. Target player controls into 2 piles. That player sacrifices all permanents in the pile of their choice. So basically the Liliana, they separate the lands that the opponent has. We're forced to usually sacrifice half our lands. That's kind of how it tends to work out. Yeah, I'm keeping it an extinction event. Alright, well, it's certainly been pretty crazy. Entertaining, once again. Both matches. Ooh, no. Rough. I mean, basically guaranteed. I would imagine it's almost guaranteed that Sylvan Scrying goes away to Thoughtseize or something else like that. Yeah. All right. Let's hope. Maybe they don't get 1 of 8 discard spells. Oh my goodness, they don't. And we top deck the Sylvan Scrying to grab the Sunken to play it. Maybe they don't have any discard spells at all. So if Archdruid stays alive and we get a second Sunken after the first one untaps, oh, that's going to be pretty fantastic stuff. We do need a source of black, potentially. I'm going to choose black. If they get the Vein Ripper next turn with Sorin, hopefully they don't. Okay, but if they do, and I draw a land that enters untapped, I could potentially get to go Extinction Event. I don't get to go Extinction Event. Probably better that the first Sunken was chosen as green, but I felt like it was a Vein Ripper. I felt like my out might be increasing the chance of Extinction Event, which would have taken out the Blood Tithe Harvester and the Vein Ripper in that scenario. Potentially my best bet. Now, Archdruids could have grabbed a second Sunken. That would have been pretty good. Yeah, that would have been better. Well, that's how it goes. Just how it happens. Yeah. First Sunken. That's what we're doing. Always choose green? Not always. But certainly in that scenario, green would have been better. Yeah. Okay, so who knows what it's going to be. Probably vampires, but I haven't been facing vampires quite a bit. Again, people got it out of their system. I would imagine people got it out of their system, and they're going back to trying different stuff. Vampires again. Ooh, let's do it. But many crazy moments so far. I gotta say, that's pretty cool. Mono blue mill, maybe with that Fibblethip avatar. That's not gonna cut it. Just the Cavern of Souls. I would risk it 100% if Cavern was a source of green for the Commune, to dig for the second land, to play Sylvan, to get the third for Topiary, Sylvan, and it would have been good, but this hand, infinitely better. Now the question becomes, send one Sylvan to the bottom? Yeah, I like that. Like that quite a bit. The second Sylvan to grab the second Sunken. Speaking of mono-white humans, okay. We might be fast enough. I would imagine, potentially, as long as they don't play Thalia. Thalia is a little bit painful. Quite a bit painful, actually. But we'll grab that second Sunken. And the chances might sink, especially if we draw a land next turn. Now, okay, we might just live with a sliver of health. Drop Ghalta, Stampede, Tyrant. As long as they don't have another Copper Code Vanguard coming in hot. We'll find out. Actually, Mutavault does us in. It's an aggro deck. That's how she goes. That should be it. Well, you never know. Maybe they don't make Mutavault into a creature. I'm pretty certain they will. They should. It does tend to do it. All right. Extinction event coming in hot, as it tried to do against Rakdos Vampires there. Okay, and also the Hornet Queen could be quite fantastic against this deck. Not a lot of their creatures have trample, and they can get pretty big, but the 1/1 death touch creatures, ooh. If we land that Hornet Queen, oftentimes it can just grind all their aggression to a halt. Certainly against this deck. A little bit against Izzet Phoenix, although they tend to start blowing up the insects, and the Hornet Queen with all their removal, that was stuck in their hand because they didn't play any creatures before. But that, perfect. Pretty much perfect. Yeah, Commune. Send that to the bottom. I was thinking of keeping it, maybe sending Topiary Stomper, because at the moment with 2 Castle Garenbrigs, I don't have 2 mana on turn 2. But I felt like, nah. Commune might not grab a land. I mean, it's a pretty low chance to not grab a land, but still. Oh, yeah. Thalia. Never mind. Tends to do the trick. Unfortunate. Also unfortunate. Okay. Hey, at the very least, you see how important that Sylvan Scrying is, and that does tend to do it. We'll see what we draw next turn. Hopefully it is something. A land that enters untapped, helping to cast Topiary Stomper. That'd be ideal. Sunken Citadel. Yeah, no, that's not going to do it. Yeah. Hopefully it's Azorius control. I finally faced it today after, I don't know, quite a long spell of being almost completely non-existent. I took it down quite easily, of course, but yeah, maybe it's a little bit earlier in the season. People wanting to fly up the ladder a little bit faster, leaning on the aggro. Maybe more aggro does tend to be the case more often at the start of the season, people flying up, and at the end, people trying to push for it or push for a higher rank. Kind of in the middle, you know, people are just sitting on wherever they're at, that sort of thing. All right, Mono White again. DC Brano 1980, we meet once again. I've faced DC Brano before. Mono Black Waste not, I believe, is the usual thing that they're on. Okay. Aggressive. Boros Heroic again? Huh. That's painful. Maybe they found me on YouTube and they know I'm streaming, so they chose an aggressive option. You never know. You never know. Whirling Vortex, okay. Mono Red. Aggro with Ogre Exono. I would bet it's Ogre Exono. But a Sunken Citadel for the turn is absolutely fantastic. Next turn, playing that Castle Garenbrig Topiary Stomper, we'll be well on our way to Tyrranax Rex. And hopefully, Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. Just have to survive. Fortunately, a little bit stumbling in the land department. It's going to work out quite nicely for us. Able to make 7 next turn for T-Rex, 8 the turn after that. So we just have to cross our fingers we get something that gives everybody haste. The Palani, the Regisaur, the 1 copy of Surrak and Goreclaw. We just gotta stick T-Rex, live this turn, and I think we might be okay. But maybe not. Okay, well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like it. Phew. I mean, we still might be dead. We'll find out. We'll find out. I certainly can't attack with Tyrranax Rex. We would be 100% dead. Because Topiary Stomper can't block, fortunately. Okay. Hope they don't have play with fire and stuff. I would imagine... Oh, okay. It's going to be close. That does tend to do the trick. 5 and 1 and okay. Hey. It's an aggro deck, Rolling Vortex finishing us off. That's how she goes. But Extinction Event, bring that in to smoke all those pesky early creatures. Chances are with this particular deck, I suspect it'd be a lot of creatures with an odd mana value. Probably. I'd be surprised if it wasn't. I'd be surprised if it didn't include Ogre Exono. Any spell, any source they control, if it deals non-combat damage, I think. Instead, it deals damage equal to Ogre Exono's power, which is 4. So Rolling Vortex deals 1 damage to us. With Ogre Exono out, it deals 4, which is nuts. Insane. Very, very painful stuff. However, excuse me, I think this should be painful. We've got the Underground Mortuary, our source of black, a forest commune in hand to dig for the 2nd land, Sylvan to grab the 3rd, to play Topiary, Archdruids to grab another Sunken, something like that. We'll see. Okay, well, that's working out. Sylvan Scrying will grab another Sunken Citadel because I don't have a turn to, or a play for 1. And Sunken always enters tapped. Next turn we can go Extinction Event, fortunately, with this forest here. So hopefully they play another Monastery Swiftspear. But ooh, two Rolling Vortex is not fun. Okay. Take out the Swiftspear? Potentially. Maybe. I mean, technically, I could just Archdruid's Charm to grab Castle Garenbrig. If we survive, if there's any way of us surviving. I'll go for that. Either we win with low health because we got Castle Garenbrig, or we just die. If we can somehow survive this turn, we would we'd lock it up. Looks like we might just do that. Still at 8. I'm feeling pretty positive about our chances here. Castle Garenbrig, where you at? Good stuff. See you later. I hope. Well, you never know. They could have 2 Skewer the Critics for 6 Rolling Vortex. Okay. I like this. They could have removal for Regisaur Alpha. Hopefully that's not the case, but I would expect that probably could be. And we would be able to attack with Topiary Stomper. We get to 6 lands. We haven't played one for the turn. So, that's pretty nice as well. Hopefully. No instant speed removal. I think we should be okay. Alright, that's something. Still dead. Tends to do the trick. Phew. Okay. Well, do I like Extinction Event? Not so much. Of course, paying 4 to exile 1 Monastery Swift Spear does not feel so good. You know what? I'm going to trim it. Trim all but 1, bring in that Hornet Queen. Get the job done. Possibly tear asunder, exiling those pesky Rolling Vortexes. The value really adds up quite a bit. Yes, it definitely does look like that's got to be enough. Their damage spells, Witchstalker Frenzy, which was, well, I guess they couldn't have cast it. They have to wait till we attack, which is good. It saved us. It is instant speed, but they didn't have enough mana. If they did, 100%, they would have taken out Regisaur Alpha before I swung with everybody. Yeah, we're definitely going to need some redundancy. Hopefully, having 2 Regisaurs, or Regisaur and Palani, or Surrak, but also adding in more haste. That really is an angle I want to shore up some more. Definitely, or more often, use the 10th, 11th, possibly 12th version of everybody attacking because of haste. Kind of like it. I mean, 3 lands, Topiary Stomper. None of those lands are Castle Garenbrig or Sunken. I think it could be a little bit better. I think that's better. Sunken and Cavern, 1 less land, but we have 1 part of the combo. You know what? T-Rex to the bottom. I want to keep the potential of Ghalta, stealing the win from the opponent. Okay, not too bad. Should be alright. Underground Mortuary as well. Yeah, we'll go with that. See if we get a land that enters untapped. Do I like? You know what? We're sending Cavern to the bottom. You might be thinking to yourself, oh, don't you want 4 lands, 2 caverns, Underground Mortuary, and Sunken? You really want to get there. But we should get there. We should get there. Because Sylvan Scrying is now going to grab another Sunken. Then the other Sylvan is going to grab Castle Garenbrig. So all of a sudden, you see how I didn't exactly need that Cavern of Souls. Hopefully. Possibly if we draw Carnage Tyrant. I might go Topiary Stomper. If we can get there. We'll see. We'll see. Here goes nothing. We have to be dead, I'm pretty certain. We're already at 11. They got, another Monastery Swiftspear. Tends to do it. Now I'm kind of wishing I kept in that extinction event. It would have been absolutely perfect right here. Taking out the creatures. Okay. Play that. Kind of cool that I drew Castle Garenbrig. Not so cool that I didn't have a T-Rex or a Carnage Tyrant. Just having some creature or multiple creatures. Yeah, that's too bad. Okay. That's how she goes. Close. But no cigar. Alright, Azorius control. Some sort of control. Where are you at? Tonight is the night of aggressive stuff and vampires. But definitely a good case. You're thinking, this deck doesn't have a lot of lands. If I see a land on top, I gotta make sure I have it. But consider what you have in your hand. If you have a Sylvan Scrying, couple lands, one of those being sunken, that's one less thing you have to search for. And very soon, very often, as you saw, in the blink of an eye, you have enough. Of course, we were dead to one of the best type of decks against this. But against something just a touch, a hair slower, devastated, dead. Pretty good. I would imagine if it had been, if we were on the play that turn, or that game, things might have been different. We'll never know though, but a good case. Bariza. Blue. Something blue with that Urza avatar. Ugh. Oh. Dirty. No lands. Okay, well, we found the keeper. That's interesting. Yeah, both Palani's Hatchers. With what I have here, we could have a scenario where I'm able to play Earthshaker Dreadmaw and not Palani's Hatcher. That does change a little bit with Topiary Stomper. Okay, Azorius Spirits, also a somewhat kind of aggressive deck, tempo-ish. We'll try our best. I do have Cavern of Souls, which is going to come in very, very important. Azorius Aggro, I don't know. You don't often see that stuff. Yeah, we'll just get that Sunken Citadel down. Stick Topiary next turn. Could stick Earthshaker Dreadmaw. Maybe. We'll see. Oh boy. Well. This is interesting. I'm gonna wait and see if I have an opening to go Archdruid's Charm. If I grab Ghalta Stampede Tyrant, we might just kill him. I don't expect that's gonna happen, and it could have been better to play, or at least try for Archdruids at the end of my turn, that turn, because they only had one blue. I don't know. I haven't seen that version too much, but I guess it does make quite a bit of sense. I'm crossing my fingers. No counterspell. Don't do it. Don't have it. They have it. Oh, spell pierce. Well, that's how she goes. So they would have spell pierced, sadly, previously. 5, 2. Okay, 7, 9. Now we might be able to do it. Get Regisaur Alpha, have multiple blockers. I like that. Very good. Stopping the tokens. Yeah, can't counter that, buddy. Go away. Oh, surprise. I'm starting off with Cavern of Souls. But I gotta say, I haven't minded it too much. Having multiple copies of Cavern, and I can still play Topiary. Well, I'm gonna try for it. Make them spend their mana. Maybe counter this instead of countering or playing a spell queller. Well, that does tend to do the trick. Okay. Yeah. So it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Too many big flying creatures. Well, it's painful stuff. The Smuggler's Copter seems pretty good. Wandering Emperor, huh. Well, I'm certainly keeping in Cavern of Souls. It's not the Azorius type colored deck that I'm used to, but Hornet Queen should be pretty good, I would imagine. Trim some Earthshaker Dreadmaws. Alright. I will just hope we're pretty fast and explosive. Could have been, if that Spell Pierce didn't happen, but it did. Yep, 100% keeping that. No question. 1 Sunken in a Castle, 2 Communes. We're digging for maybe another Sunken Citadel. That's it's pretty straightforward to me. And seeing Carnage Tyrant, very good. Also, the Hornet Queen too. That's going to be packing a punch. Always use Commune, see if it's a Sunken. Maybe Mausoleum Wanderer will pop itself. That wouldn't be so bad. We have a land for the turn. Good. Well, it's not totally good, but we'll see. Yeah, they definitely don't risk too much. Cross your fingers it's not another Spell Pierce. Oh, they let it happen. Phew. That would have been a little bit rough. We're getting there. Hopefully seeing a Cavern of Souls next turn. That would be ideal. Or just some land that enters untapped. Able to stick Carnage Tyrant would be pretty darn good. Oh. Yeah. I bet they have a counter spell or a spell queller, so no. As long as there isn't a Ether Gust sending Carnage Tyrant to the top or the bottom. Maybe I jinx myself. Okay. Pretty good. Is this going to present a better clock than what they could do? I don't know. It's our best bet. That's a pretty decent thing to do with 4 lands, though. Against a lot of stuff. The Supreme Phantom is a little bit rough, but also just kind of rough with the Rattle Chains. All their spirits they can cast with Flash, and now we're into a race. This could be nice. We get Castle Garenbrig, and also a nice thing, even though this scenario is not often, with the 4 lands, you make the 6 green, casting both Topiary Stompers. Drawing out maybe 2 counter spells at the very least. I'm sticking one of them. I don't see a world where they were able to counter both. Maybe they'll counter this one, but hey, we'll see. Okay. There's that No More Lies. Get swinging with Carnage Tyrant. At the very least, I could possibly stick Hornet Queen. I'm going to try it. If I draw a Cavern of Souls, of course. 100% Hornet Queen is coming down. Cavern of Souls. Ooh. Hornet Queen is our best bet. We have to try for it. Oh. What's going on? Get lost does not stop those insects, buddy. Surprise. Oh. Thumbs up. You're not busting through that.
It's a trap!
Certainly seems like a trap. You never know what especially this kind of opponent has. Lots of flashy creatures, lots of counter spells, removal. Yeah. Now you die. Good luck. Man, I love the Hornet Queen. Every time I think, oh, I don't need the Hornet Queen in the list, it's not so good, this doesn't do what I want, or isn't as necessary. You run into something like this where this is a deck that can make that amount of mana, 7, so take advantage of being able to do that and sticking something so perfect. Try to stick another one? Well, might as well. Let's do it. They didn't counter. Okay, good. That's what you get.
You have no power here.
Oh, very, very interesting. I'm certainly keeping the Hornet Queen. That definitely did the trick. I mean, of course, I would like Extinction Event. Not actually adding it, but if I felt comfortable being able to get Extinction Event off, that would be pretty good. But the amount of counter spells, don't even bother. Try to get that Hornet Queen down, possibly with a Cavern of Souls, naming Insect to protect against the counter spells, and it's probably the best bet. I like that though. We have a Cavern of Souls which could come in very, very important. We won't play it yet. We need 3 green for Archdruid's Charm, so Underground Mortuary, the Forest, and hopefully a Sylvan. Maybe we get a Sylvan Scrying or a Sunken Citadel. I'll go with Underground first. I could have tried for Commune, but didn't feel like it. Send Palani's Hatcher to the bottom. I want to increase the chances of drawing a land next turn. Even though I may not need it, and I would expect Mausoleum Wanderer probably sacrifices itself. I'll try, we'll see. But they have some pretty good aggression, so I don't think they're going to want to do that. Okay. Castle Garenbrig it is. Well, we're getting to the sources we need eventually. We can stick Topiary Stomper next turn. Oh boy. Yes, please. Oh, do you have a counter spell? Oh, shucks. Oh boy. We can go Carnage Tyrant next turn, or I could go Forest, search for Sunken, okay. I'm liking the looks of this. Big time. The big time dead. Maybe. I have 2 to pay for Mausoleum Wanderer. It could counter this, but Cavern and Underground would pay for that. We search for a Sunken, and if they don't kill us next turn, we probably will kill them. Land in Ghalta. Don't worry. I'm paying it. Okay. Whew, I'm glad I had a good moment to use that classic clip. I imagine maybe they conceded the second they sacrificed that they realized I was able to pay the 2. Or they realized it wouldn't do anything. I don't know. Either way, Archdruids would have grabbed a Sunken, put it onto the battlefield. I would have had Castle, Forest, Castle, both Forest and Sunken would have been 6. Underground, Cavern, 7 and 8. Cavern protecting Ghalta to enter, which would have put Tyrranax Rex, Carnage Tyrant, and Hornet Queen all out. Possibly, if I had drawn a Palani's Hatcher or a Regisaur Alpha that turn, also being able to attack with everybody. Oh, Mad Dad Lab. The Rage Quit. Gotta love it. But very interesting and still continually thrilling matches tonight. Not so much the mono white humans, but again, it's all pretty aggressive stuff. I would classify that Spirit's Variation aggressive. Lots of creatures, cheap, flying. Can be rough, certainly for this deck. I mean, I could have the classic Shifting Ceratops, 2/2 green for a 5/4, pay green to give it haste, reach, or trample. Can't be countered, protection from blue. For a long time, I was using Shifting Ceratops all the time. Man. But pretty much the second Cavern of Souls was released with Lost Caverns of Ixalan coming on to Arena. Yeah. I didn't look back. It felt like Shifting Ceratops was not really needed, and it seems like probably Shifting Ceratops still isn't. I'd rather use the spot that Shifting Ceratops took up for more card advantage, something more generally useful against, well, whoever. You want to draw more cards, and that would do it. And also, the very, very important point, if I can make 4 for shifting, that would include 4 lands with this deck. But those 4 lands could be the package of Sunken and Castle and 2 forests. If I can play shifting, I can possibly make 6. So I might as well switch up Shifting Ceratops, possibly for a creature that costs 5, but probably for something that costs 6. We'll see. I thought this hand was a risk. Sunken Citadel and a forest. We got 2 sources of green for the hopeful Archdruid's Charm. But at least I do. Okay. Well. That might just be it. Field of Ruin taking out Castle Garenbrig is rough. It's got to be Castle Garenbrig. Sadly. Okay. See how that goes. Certainly I do appreciate that. Topiary Stomper out of the way. We'll go with the forest. We'll see what they do. If Field of Ruin takes out Castle Garenbrig, we respond with Archdruids to grab Castle. If they take out Sunken, we respond to grab another Sunken. Shieldred is pretty painful stuff. At the very least, if I draw Ghalta, Stampede, Tyrant next turn, they die. That's a pretty cool thing. You gotta say, if we see it, they're dead. 3 Palani's Hatcher. That would be good. We'll get rid of 1. That Archdruids I have could just simply grab Ghalta, Stampede, Tyrant. Would be nice. See what Commune gets us. It could be a Carnage Tyrant. Maybe. I like another Palani's Hatcher. Yeah, let's do it. Nah, we're going to wait. We're going to hope they don't have much of a Thoughtseize. Use something. Hopefully they use up their mana. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'm just crossing my fingers they don't use that Field of Ruin to get rid of Castle Garenbrig. Play big creature. Go blank. Okay, that tends to do the trick. Painful. But maybe extra painful for the opponent. We'll wait. We'll see if it goes to the end of a turn. Okay, good. Just in case they had another Thoughtseize, not that it would have mattered too much, but if they went Thoughtseize, I just turn Archdruid's Charm into something that can't be discarded. Okay, well, I don't know. Sometimes they go blank and you lose. And, that's just how it is. Go blank is a pretty nasty card. But is it regular mono black waste knot? I don't know. We didn't see a waste knot, but there's a very real possibility that you don't, because there is only 4 copies. Sometimes that's happened before. Do I like Earthshaker Dreadmaw? Not so much. I like Extinction Event. Taking out Shieldred, maybe Arcfiend of the Dross, other big creatures that might have Death Touch. If this is perhaps mono black mid-range. Also a very real possibility. Yeah, just too bad we drew the Cavern. Would have been pretty cool if it was, well, I guess a Regisaur Alpha. We had lost basically all of the Palani's hatchers. Darn. They know what we're all about. Will they be scared? It's a very real possibility. I think they suspect they dodged a bullet. A pretty big bullet. Ghalta is a pretty big bullet, and that, I think, is a pretty good hand. Sunken to start again, the Underground Mortuary. See what's on top. If it is Sylvan Scrying or Commune with Dinosaurs, that's protected against Thoughtseize. Or Duress. Oh, okay. Looking pretty good. Hey, you know what Thoughtseize can't get rid of? Or Duress. It's a land. And when you attach the way to get, all the mana you need to only lands. Pretty resilient. Of course, they do get rid of you-know-who and you-know-what. Sylvan Scrying and Archdruid's Charm with the Duress and the Thoughtseize. At least part of the plan doesn't happen. But there you go with Sylvan Scrying. I hadn't seen Sylvan Scrying or Archdruid's Charm to start. So I felt there was a very good chance that, well, they would be coming up. They should. I knew they would potentially be coming up. Oh, that is rough. We don't exactly need the forest. And we're going to be playing Tyrranax Rex next turn, so forest and Carnage gone. T-Rex, start to smack them. Hope that they don't have you-know-what. Mouse over those lands. You're wondering how I did that. Surprise, you missed your window. You didn't use Field of Ruin to take out Castle Garenbrig. I wouldn't have been playing anything. Nice. That's a nice Shieldred. Would be a shame if it died. Even. See you later. Oh.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me!
Okay. We just have to do that again. Alright. Well, pretty straightforward stuff. Boom. I mean, it is a pretty costly thing to pay for to take out one creature, but, well, if that one creature is Shieldred, I love it. Now the question becomes, should it maybe be Terra Sunder? If this is Mono Black Waste Not, which we still haven't seen, could be nice to just pay 1 in the green to exile Waste Not, stop them from getting zombies, or 2 black mana if we discard a land, or drawing a card if we discard a non-creature, non-land. And if we're only taking out basically 1 creature each time, Extinction Event for 4, Terra Sunder for 4, that is the same cost. You know what, I'm going to do that. Yeah, no. Not Extinction Event, Terra Sunder. Okay. Just pretty interesting. If a deck you expect or you think it's going to be useful to have Extinction Event and you find out it doesn't really have much of any creatures, just one sort of specific thing, boom, Terra Sunder makes a whole lot of sense, I think. But that hand makes a lot of sense. I mean, 2 Sunkens to start, Forest, Sylvan, Topiary Stompers. Okay, fine by me. It's not like I don't have everything I need. They're going to be crying, kicking themselves. Hopefully Thoughtseize. Okay. Hopefully they don't have too many more Field of Ruins, but well, it's going downhill for them. It's going to be pretty hard to stop this pain train, I think. Doesn't really matter what they do. Sylvan Scrying, of course, is probably the best thing. Stop me from getting you know what. Castle Garenbrig. Had a brain fart there. Just keep doing it. Thoughtseize. Duress. Let's go. Oh, demolition. Okay, jeez. That is annoying, to say the least. But what did I mention at the start of this with the amount of basic lands? You run into an opponent that takes a bunch out with Demolition Field and Field of Ruin, Topiaries. Okay, my goodness. But I think we'll still get there. We got 2 more Sunkens. Okay. You gotta run out of stuff eventually. Now the question becomes, Topiary Stomper, get it down. Could have been Underground Mortuary for sure, but make use of Topiary. Hopiary. Okay. That is definitely something. We still have Terra Sunder, so we can get rid of Shieldred. We should be in a pretty good position. Yeah, I'll keep Palani's Hatcher. That haste really could come in quite handy. We just have to hope there's no Thoughtseize or something. I could maybe run 1 basic mountain. Yeah, I'd consider it. Yeah, I'll think about it. I'm not usually too worried. Of course, at the moment, I can't play that Palani's Hatcher, but I knew I was going Terra Sunder anyways. 100%. As I mentioned, Extinction Event, taking out 1 thing, this, taking out 1 thing. Yeah, 1 basic mountain could be good. Kind of similar to Cavern of Souls in the sense that Cavern doesn't help to cast Archdruid's Charm. A mountain doesn't help to cast Archdruid's Charm. Okay. Finally seeing Waste Not. My oh my. Yeah, this doesn't get much more painful than Field of Ruin, Thoughtseize, Demolition Field, Thoughtseize, Duress. Hopefully we see Castle Garenbrig coming up. I think both Palani's Hatchers. I want to keep the potential of Ghalta. That might save us. Hopefully. You never know. Okay, that's good. That might be what we need. Castle Garenbrig. Okay. We're getting there, folks. And we get to play it. And we get to play Carnage Tyrant. Phew. And we have Topiary Stomper, sacrificing that to a potential Shieldred's Edict. Maybe the opponent is getting a little bit scared. At the moment, I can make 7. If I draw a land that enters untapped next turn, I could play Ghalta, but that would be the only creature I'd play and put out. At the very least, I've got a Carnage Tyrant down. That's a hopefully scary thing for the opponent. Okay. Take out Topiary. Sacrifice Carnage Tyrant to any number of things. Okay, that I expected that. We're not quite dead yet, but being hit for 8 is going to be rough. Okay, also rough. There's nothing more you can do. Archdruid's Charm tends to do it, and all the painful hand hate and yeah, all that stuff. Man, maybe I should bring in Pithing Needle. Trim Thrashing Brontodon. Pithing Needle certainly would have been infinitely more helpful, although taking out Shieldred was quite nice, I must say. Either way, leave it there for tonight. I think that was a pretty good batch of games. I certainly had quite some fun. Oh, they had some stellar top decks. I certainly had some stellar top decks. Lovely back and forth overall. Down to the wire quite a bit. I don't know. They had the stuff to do the stuff a little bit more often than I was able to do my stuff. Overall tonight. But yes, thanks for watching. Mad Dad Lab cut. Anybody else right now, later on, whenever it is, have a lovely rest of your time zone. Have a good night. Everyone, take care and peace. See you next time.